Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Big Talk Pigskin. I'm your host, Bowden. I'm joined by Andre. Andre, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Ready to give you guys some Big Ten news this week. I got intramural basketball after this, so I'm excited for that. But more excited to talk to you guys about football, though.
Hey, well, good luck in that intramural basketball game. Hope you get the W there.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to talk about these games as well. We got some good ones coming up here. Um, Stay tuned to the end so we can talk about the big one, the one that's probably on everybody's minds. But first off, here we're going to start off with the Purdue at Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about this one?
I think this is just a chance for Michigan to put another win on their record. Kind of I don't want to say a chance to rest up because there's no team in college football you really can rest up for, but I don't really see Purdue beating Michigan, so I think this is their chance to kind of, I don't know, I guess maybe get some young guys some reps, some experience, but I see Michigan kind of running away with this pretty soon.
Yeah, Michigan should dominate this game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I thought the same about the Michigan State game last week, except that's a rivalry. So, give Michigan State their props there for last week. But
Yeah.
Michigan, in theory, should roll all over Purdue. Sorry, Sam, but Purdue should not have a chance in this game. They shouldn't. But they still haven't won a game in the Big Ten yet. Maybe this is where they come in and they decide they want to spoil someone's season. Because if Michigan loses this game, they're done. They're out of playoff contention.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they turn around and beat Ohio State at the end of the year, just don't think that would be enough to get them in with a loss to Purdue. So this is Purdue's chance to do something special. They did it a couple years ago against Iowa. They did it a couple years ago against Ohio State. They know how to do this. They know how to win these big games. Unfortunately for them, this game is at Michigan in the big house during the day. Purdue would have somewhat of a chance if this game was at home, like at home at night in Ross-Ade Stadium. Purdue, I might be looking at them as a potential upset, but this, no shot. It's not at noon. Sorry, it's a night game. Night game in Ann Arbor.
Yeah. And Purdue, they were close last week to Rutgers. They only lost by 3. And Rutgers is a really good, surprising team this year. But Michigan, their defense, I think that's just going to set the tone. It's how much Michigan wins by really comes down to what Bryce Underwood and his offense can do. Because I know Michigan, their D line is going to be, they're going to overwhelm Purdue's O line. The quarterback's not going to have much time. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure, probably some turnovers. So it's really up to what Bryce Underwood and his guys can really do and put up to, I guess, see how much, to determine how much they win by and how big the win margin is. And like you said, this is real important for playoffs. So I think that's going to be kind of a fire for Michigan because, they want to make it in playoffs bad just like everyone else does. So it's even though this is I want to say an easy win on paper, they're still going to come out and play them like this is Ohio State. They're going to come out and they're going to try and put up as many points as they can to show that they're a big team because they have to win by a lot to show that they need to move up because it's hard to move up from playing Purdue. You're not really going to get any spots unless you put out a dominating blowout to show you need to move up a couple places.
100%. Michigan has to win by a lot of points. A win is obviously good no matter what. You want to see them win. But if they sneak in this game, they sneak out of it and only win by 3-10, it's not a good look. It's a really bad look. Mm-hmm. So you got to dominate this game, and they should. They should.
They really should.
Yeah, they should. But Purdue, man, they like to be sneaky. They like to come out here and just win games that they shouldn't every couple of years. So I'm very intrigued to see what Purdue we see come out here. Very, very curious as to how that's going to work. But yeah, Bryce Underwood, this is a great time for him to tune up. And not, again, like you said, not an easy game, but this is a lot lesser of an opponent than what they've been playing against. They played against Oklahoma, and they've played USC this year. So this is a good chance for him to really kind of get his groove going and have a consistent pass game the entire game and a consistent run game the entire game. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. I don't think they're going to score a lot of points, but that's because Michigan's this run-heavy team. Mm-hmm. I think it just depends on how many times they can break out a big running play.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's like the next three games. So Purdue, this week, next week Northwestern, and then the week after that Maryland. Like those next 3 weeks, none of those teams are ranked, and so it's kind of like the same boat you're in all 3 weeks. You have to come out dominant. You have to pretty much put out a shutout or as close as that you can, and you have to score as many points, more than you scored all season. Well, these are your chance to like get all your offensive wrinkles up. The stuff that hasn't been working, this is your chance to try and figure it out. Whether it should stay in the offense, so you can figure it out, or you need to just scrap it. And then like I feel like they can get their passing game going against these three teams. I feel like their O line should be able to compete with these guys to give Bryce enough time. And then the receivers should be able to compete with the DBs. Not saying that they're much better, but like they should be able to compete with them to figure some stuff out, get some timing. Go get somebody else besides themselves before they play Ohio State. So these next 3 games are real important to try and move up, because it's gonna be hard to do with like no ranked teams. Like Northwestern is 5-3, and that's the best like ranking of the teams you're gonna play.
Yeah, and I think out of their next couple of games before Ohio State, Maryland is the best team that they play, but you are right. Northwestern, their record is looking a little bit better on paper. Maryland's a tougher team. And
Yeah.
Purdue, they're just not. And I don't like saying it. I have no issue with Purdue. I
Mm-hmm.
really don't. I've been there. I've toured their facilities because one of my friends' older brothers was playing there for a little bit. So I got to see all their facilities and stuff when Iowa played there when I was younger. But yeah, Purdue's got to just come out guns a blazing to have any sort of chance in this game, and that's just not the way Purdue plays football. Unfortunately, this is just going to be a rollover game for Michigan, I think. And I mean, again, we've said that before, and it hasn't looked that way, but I just don't see Purdue putting up much of a fight, if any, at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, as an Ohio State fan, I would love for Purdue to go ahead and put a sneaky little win up against Michigan, because we play Purdue next week. So I would love for them to sneak in there and take one away from them.
Yeah, because if they take this away from Michigan, they're definitely not taking it away from Ohio State.
Oh no, they would have
But
used all their juice, all their trick plays, every card they had up their sleeve. They would have had to use against Michigan.
100%. But Purdue's hosting Ohio State next week. It's kind of scary. It's a little scary. I hate going to play there as an Iowa fan.
I mean, yeah, you
It's
never
scary.
like away games, but I don't know. I don't think we're too worried. We got a tougher game this week.
Hey, you guys said that in 2018.
That's
And
true.
I said that in 2022.
Mm.
And it didn't work. Didn't matter. It was 2021. Sorry. Iowa just beat Penn State and then
Mhm.
goes and loses as the number 2 team in the country to Purdue. That was fun.
Yeah.
Really fun. But yeah, Michigan's a 22-point favorite in this game. I think that's easy. For them. I definitely think they win by at least 3 scores, if not more.
I think they need to win by more. I think like whatever the over is set for 22, they need to beat that by like at least a touchdown if they want to try and move up a place. And then they need people ahead of them to lose.
Yeah, they definitely do. For playoff implication wise, they really got to finish strong here, and they need other people to lose. But if they look strong enough, they win out the rest of their games, which would include an Ohio State win, they'll make it in.
Yeah.
It's just, yes, they just need to dominate these next couple of weeks before Ohio State just to make them look a little bit better on paper.
Yeah, because Texas, they're number 20. They play Vanderbilt, who's number 9. And they're at Texas, but Vanderbilt could beat them, and then maybe that could boost them up. Maybe Florida gets an upset against Georgia. That might help them boost up. There's not too many games else that I really see like kind of helping them.
Yeah.
Maybe Utah beat Cincy. That might help them.
Yeah, kind of either way it helps them, honestly.
Yeah.
With those guys both being ranked. And
Mm-hmm.
I know they're not Big Ten, but the fact that Cincy is an underdog in that game away, I think is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because I want to say, give me 1 second. They're a 10.5 point underdog to Utah. Now, I don't necessarily think they should be favored. They're playing at night in Utah, but I don't know if it should be that big. That Cincy team's really good, and their quarterback, Brendan Sorsby, He might win the Heisman. Probably not. Mendoza should win it,
Mm-hmm.
but he's up there. He's up there in those rankings. He's doing really well. So I just think it's a little crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking Michigan in this by a mile.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Michigan by a mile. Sorry, Sam. Just not happening this week. Maybe next week. Probably not.
No, definitely not.
Probably not. Next up on our agenda today, we got USC traveling to Nebraska, going to Memorial Stadium. This game, probably the best matchup in the Big Ten this week, in my opinion. Obviously, there's some more higher profile games, which we'll get into, but these seem to be the most even teams playing this week that are going up against each other that have a ranking on the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm definitely excited to look at watch this game and see what happens, because like USC is just such a dominant and explosive offense, and Nebraska, their quarterback, I don't know, baby Mahomes, he's annoying, but he's exciting to watch too. He's a good football player. So like these two teams, I feel like Nebraska definitely is gonna give USC a scare, because they're fighting just like Michigan is too. Because now like the playoff poll is coming out. We're past past the AP poll. We're onto the playoff poll now. So like
Next week.
Next week, yeah. So this is like guys are taking this serious. So they're gonna come out with their good stuff to try and like get as big of a jump and a boost as they can towards that playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Nebraska, they're at what? They have 2 losses on the season. USC is at the same spot. They both could still make a playoff push. I think Nebraska's a little farther outside of this right now. They need the people on their schedule to win more games before they play them in order to get put into that spot. And that's USC kind of in the same boat. At least they're ranked right now. But Nebraska has USC. They beat them. They're probably ranked. Probably. Then they play UCLA. Not very good. You got to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
They play Penn State. Got to dominate them. Then they play Iowa, which for them, they need Iowa to win out up until that point, because that would include Iowa beating Oregon and USC.
Mm-hmm.
So they need these other teams to win who are on their schedule in order to even have a chance, because right now, sitting outside of the top 25, probably don't have much of a shot even with 2 losses. You have to win out, and you need the teams that you're playing to look good to finish out the season.
Yeah, and that's what's scary for them, because they have to be perfect. Like they have to make sure they dot all their I's, crosses all their T's, because when you need these teams to win out, say everything is perfect up to that point, you're playing a team that's literally hot on fire. You get all the way up to Iowa. They beat Oregon, and who else did you say they had to beat?
It'd have to be USC, Oregon, USC, and then also Michigan State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, maybe Michigan State is not as tough, but like they're still a tough team. Like that's like it's a lot to have to wish for and kind of bank on. So I don't know. I feel like Nebraska is kind of at this point, they're just hoping to upset and ruin USC season. And USC, they have to come out and score a lot of points, which I think they'll do. I think USC is going to come and get the upset on the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's an upset to say they're beating Nebraska.
Well, yeah, not the upset.
Yeah,
they're just going to beat them at home.
Beat them at home, yeah. And the Nebraska, they always, they have a huge crowd. They claim to sell out every game. It's kind of true. They sell every ticket. It's just that usually it's not completely full, even when they do sell it out. People just don't go. They sell out some of those tickets that don't get sold. They sell to companies just to say that they sold it out. Sorry, exposing them because I hate them, but like they're always going to have a strong crowd there, always, every time. So that plays a huge factor in this. That's hard to play in that environment, especially at such a historic stadium with Lincoln Memorial there. I still think USC has the upper edge here. I like Mavia. I think he's a better quarterback than we have with Raiola on Nebraska's side. And I like the USC defense. It's been strong. It's been very strong. So I think they're going to be able to hold Nebraska, and they're going to be able to score some good points since they're such a dominant offense.
Yeah, I definitely I feel the same way. But like Emmett Johnson, Nebraska's running back, he's got more touchdowns and more yards than USC's running back. Raiola, he doesn't have as many yards, but he has more touchdowns. He does have more interceptions, but like they show like some of their guys can compete with like some of their best guys, and they can be explosive and score just like they can. So like if Nebraska gets clicking, like this really could be an exciting game, like something like if you forget about this game and you tune in the fourth quarter, you might forget about the rest of the game.
Yeah, 100%. This game, like I said, I think this is going to be the best one. I think this is probably going to be our closest game that involves a ranked team this week. I do. I think this is going to be very close. Honestly, probably not even a 2-point margin on this. I really think this is like a 1-point game. This might even go into overtime. In all honesty, I truly believe it's going to go there because Nebraska is going to put up a fight at home, and USC, despite the fact that they're not traveling that far. It's not as far as going out to Ohio State, not as far as going out to Michigan or anything like that. Time zones, they only cross 2 time zones. It's not as bad. This is going to be a very interesting game to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to watch it. But if I had to pick a team, I'm doubling down on USC.
Yeah, this is a hard one for me because honestly, I really do not like saying this, and I don't like Nebraska. I think they find a way to pull it out.
Ooh,
I think they find a way to pull it out. I think this is like an overtime game or very close, maybe late field goal to win the game. I think they get the edge on this. I think they find a way to pull this game out and upset USC and ruin their season. I really don't want that to happen for multiple reasons. I don't like Nebraska, 1. 2, Iowa has to play USC, and I want USC to be a better team than having a loss to Nebraska. I don't want them to be a 3-loss team going in that Iowa game. So would much rather USC win this game, but I think Nebraska pulls it out in the end.
Definitely. Well, we'll have to come back for you guys Monday. You'll see who won, and you'll hear what we say next week coming up. But let's go in.
Now to our number 2 team in the country here. We got the Hoosiers going out to Maryland, taking on the Terrapins. Maryland's tough. They've been good.
Mm-hmm.
Are they tough enough for Indiana? We'll see. I don't think so.
I don't know. I see Maryland giving them like a 1-quarter scare. Like maybe like Indiana's like, I don't know, it's like they're up 14 and Maryland scores like maybe 14 back to back and like unanswered in a second. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's 14 and a half. And then Indiana runs away with it. I don't see Maryland being able to stick around for very long.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mendoza, that's the Heisman right there as of right now in my eyes. I think it is in most people's eyes as well. And if it's not, it should be. Yeah. He is the best player in college football right now, in my personal opinion, again. But yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I think Maryland comes in, they score some points early. They're at home. They're going to use that to their advantage. They're not going to pull out a win in the end. I really don't believe that. I'm definitely with you on this. First half going to be like 10-14, maybe 14-14, 21-17, something like that. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. That's what Indiana's been doing all year. They score a lot. There's only been one game they haven't scored a lot. But
there will be another game.
Yes. Big Ten championship will be their other one. That game will be close. Or that game will be a complete shootout. Again, they both still have to make it there.
True.
We don't know yet. They got to both make it there. But I definitely think this game's close to start off. And then by halftime, Indiana will make their adjustments. They'll go, hey, guys, what are we doing playing down to Maryland right now? Mm-hmm. And they're just going to kick it into gear in the second half and just completely dominate.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like Cignetti, he's just, I don't know. This year he turned into a mastermind, and he's dialing teams up, dicing them up. I'm sure he already knows or has a good idea what Maryland's planning on doing and how they're going to come out. So I feel like Maryland's probably going to get outcoached too, as well as outplayed. I don't really think they can match up player for player, or I don't know about all their coaching staff, at least head coach for head coach. So I don't know. It's going to be a bad one out there in Maryland.
The only thing that really scares me for Indiana in this game is the fact that Maryland's on a 3-game losing streak. So that kind of just points me in the direction of they have a huge chip on their shoulder. They have something huge to play for. They can ruin Indiana's season, which obviously, as long as Indiana still wins out, even if they lose this game, they're still making the playoffs. Like, Indiana would have to have a masterclass destruction to miss the playoffs at this point.
Yeah.
But Maryland can go in here and go, you guys aren't going to the Big Ten championship game now. You know,
I would not be. I would, but I wouldn't be mad because, like, as an Ohio State fan, I don't want to see Indiana. I want us to just win the Big Ten championship and that be that. But as a football fan, like, what more can you ask besides the number 1 and the number 2 team to play? Like, exactly. And that's before you even get to the playoffs and national championship. So, like, this is like top tier football that you're hoping for, and Maryland has a chance to ruin all of that.
They do. They have a great chance to ruin that 3-game losing streak. Now they have a home game. It's just they've lost to Washington close. Yeah. That's Washington's good. They lost to Nebraska close. Nebraska's a good team. They lost to UCLA close. UCLA's been very hot. Maryland's had a bye week coming up before this. They were on a bye last week. So they've had 2 weeks to prepare for Indiana. Yeah. So if you're going to see a fight out of any team against Indiana this year, like in the regular season, that is, other than the Iowa game that already happened, it's going to be this one here with Maryland.
Yeah. And Maryland, I mean, if there is a shootout, I just don't see them lasting because their last 3 games, like they've been struggling in the fourth quarter. Like that's kind of just been the nail in the coffin for them. They just can't close out games. And it's like a team against Indiana, you don't want that to be like your weakness. Like if you're going to be able to hang game with them, to not be able to close. So I just, even if they can keep it interesting, keep it close enough, I don't see them like being able to pull away.
Yeah, they won't. They won't be able to pull away unless they start off dominating. It's the only way. Only way that you really have a chance against this Indiana team is if you just are all gas, no brakes to start off the game and are just scoring left and right to start it off, and then you're able to just kind of coast out and play good defense. But Indiana has a top 10 defense, maybe top 5. I'm not exactly sure on the stats on that. That's a top 10 defense in the country right there. It's going to be hard to score against them, and it's one of the best offenses in the country as well. It's going to be hard to stop them. So
it is.
I'm going to double down. I agree with you on the fact that I think the first half's close, but I think Indiana runs away with it by the end of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Over on to our last game of today. Going over to the Nittany Lions at Ohio Stadium, taking on the Buckeyes. Your guys.
This is an interesting game because like it is because like Penn State they've lost a lot, but at this point they have nothing left to lose. So like that's what makes them so scary. Like they're at rock bottom. So like it's not like we can like I don't know beat them and like try and take all their morale. Like they don't have anything left. So it's like we can never like play like the game is over because they just I don't know. That's just the scariest thing about them. And then they still have a lot of talent as well.
Yes, still a very talented team. Now you're understanding why I was very scared to go against them.
Mm-hmm.
I was not looking forward to that because you're right. They have nothing to play for at this point. They're playing to make a bowl game, just a random bowl game. They're at 4 losses. Yeah. They've lost 4 straight games. That's not going to stay for long. This team will win a game and make a bowl. It will win 2 more games and make a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, do they upset Ohio State this week to start building towards that? I don't know. 3 more games to make a bowl game. Sorry, they're 3 and 4.
Yeah,
but it's scary. I do not want to play them. I'm glad we got over it with the Iowa game. They gave me a huge scare in that first half, blocking a field goal, taking it back. Look for them to make big plays. They're going to. That's what Penn State does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just need we need the defense to just come out dominant. Like we need them to shut them down. Like not allow any of the little trick plays, any of the sneaky plays. Little like we just can't take we can't take our foot off the gas. We have to just play all gas, no brakes. And in our offense, they have to be clicking. They just have to do their job because I know our defense is going to come out hot and strong. It's literally just up to our offense. Like Jeremiah Smith, you cannot come out dropping the ball. Carnell Tate, like just be ready. I know you're gonna do your job, so thank you. Just please stay consistent. That's all we're asking you. Just keep doing what you've done the other 7 games. Do that again this week. Julian saying just stay calm and find Carnell Tate. If Jeremiah Smith don't want to show up and play because he didn't ran his mouth on how he wasn't really trying last season and now he's trying, well, stop trying, Jeremiah Smith. Because last year you were the dude. You was dominating college football. Now you're just one of the guys, and I don't want you to be one of the guys. I need the dude back.
Yeah. That's I have Ohio State fans at work. They're telling me, they're sitting here, they're going, he's still the best player on the team. I'm like, sure, maybe talent wise, Jeremiah Smith's the best player on the team, but look at what he's doing on the field. He's not been the best player on that team.
Yeah,
he's not been the playmaker. He's not the difference maker. It's Carnell Tate.
Mm-hmm.
Carnell is the guy right now, and he's going to make a huge difference. If Jeremiah Smith can not drop half the footballs that get thrown at him again, sure, maybe he's going to make a lot of huge plays. He'll make good plays out of the ones he actually does catch, but he just lets them bounce out of his hands.
And it's so frustrating. And like, it's just once he gets clicking, like it's so selfish to go out there and just, I know, like I play receiver, and sometimes like when you drop it, it's like you looking on the field, you're ready to make that next play. But it's like if you just catch the ball and even fall down, you don't get no rack yards, no run after the catch. You just you spread the defense out so our running backs can get going. And it's like they're doing it without like you helping. I mean, I guess he is helping. He's still putting up like his 40, 50-yard little quiet games, even though he's dropping the ball. But it's like we need you to get back to that 80, 90 like consistent like number 1 receiver in the league. So like it just, or not in the league, in college football, so it just makes it easier for the rest of our offense to click. So that way, like guys like Mylan Graham and Carnell Tate and Bo Jackson, like the guys who aren't as big name-wise as you, like their talent gets put on display because they're one-on-one. And one-on-one, they can't beat them because they would be like the starters and best players on other teams.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing for me that is scary for Ohio State, other than the Illinois and the Wisconsin game, Ohio State doesn't show up in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. And that's not just a this year Ohio State thing. That's a Ryan Day Ohio State thing.
Yeah.
That has been happening since Urban left. And even honestly, maybe the last year or two of Urban was kind of that way. They just don't show up in the first quarter at all. Second quarter comes around, they take off. Mm-hmm. But if you don't show up in the first quarter of this game, Penn State might punch you right in the mouth, take an early lead, and never let off the brakes or let off the gas. If they take an early lead first quarter, I'm confident Ohio State can match it and keep working up to it. But I'm not confident that, again, if Penn State takes a major lead, I'm not confident that Ohio State will be able to, or that Ohio State will necessarily completely slow them down to the point where they have the chance to fully take over and dominate. I really see this being a close game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as close as USC Nebraska. I think Ohio State wins by like a touchdown or so. But I don't know. This game is it's very interesting. I will definitely be tuned into this game. I will be locked in.
Definitely, because Penn State, when you look at all of their games this season, like, or I guess if you look at all their losses this season, like they play to the level of their competition. They don't lose by more than, I guess, a touchdown. Like to Oregon, they lost by 7. UCLA, they lost by 5. Northwestern, they lost by 1. Iowa, they lost by 1. Like they play to the level of their opponent, and that's what's scary. Like if they come out and play to the level of Ohio State from the first quarter all the way to the fourth, we're going to lose because like you can't beat a team that good who's playing that good for 4 quarters, and we only do it for 3.
Exactly. 100%. Ohio State has to come out swinging. They have to play like they did in the Illinois game. Mm-hmm. They have to. They will lose this game if they don't. They're favored by 19.5 points, favored by 20, 3 touchdowns. This game is going to be closer than that. Don't like the line. This game will be a lot closer than people really are thinking. Maybe people are thinking like us. I don't know. It seems like Ohio State should dominate them. Yeah. That's what everyone's saying. I just don't think that's happening.
It's because this game is all in Ohio State hands. It's really up to what they do because they have the ability to make it like not a shutout, but like make it like a not close game to make like to take it and run away with it. But like at the same time, they have the same ability to keep it close and let Penn State get hot and get their sneaky win. I guess gives them their confidence stuff. But like we just have to lock in and make the most of it this week. Can't play any games at all.
Yeah, 100%. Ohio State's got to do their thing. They have to be the number one team in the country this week.
Yeah.
I think I've said it before. I really do think Indiana's the best team in the country, but Ohio State has done nothing to show that they deserve to drop in a spot. This game is where that might happen, whether it's losing or winning by a field goal or a really close margin. This might be what goes, okay, maybe Indiana really is better than them in the voters' eyes. And honestly, the AP voters don't matter when it comes to next week. We don't know what the playoff committee is going to look like. There's a very strong chance they just rank 3 SEC teams in the top 3 because that's just what they do, despite the fact Ohio State and Indiana are the 2 best teams in the country.
That's true. They just might. So
I wouldn't even be surprised at all.
Yeah. But I still got my boys, though. I know the Bucks are going to get it done.
Part of me wants to take Penn State just for the fun of it. Like just because I think it would be fun. And I would
let the game.
And like I would if they won the game, that'd just be like awesome in a way, you know, because like huge upsets like that, obviously not for you because it's your own team, but like if this was a different team, you'd be like, oh, that's awesome. The huge upset. Mm-hmm. I'd love to take Penn State. I'd love to. It's not happening. Got Ohio State by like 10. I think it's close.
I don't know. It's hard to say because like if they come out hot and they're playing like they're supposed to, I can see why they have the spread where it's at because it's definitely doable. So it's hard to say. I can't really put a score on this one. I just know that the Bucks are going to get it done.
I agree. And just to add one more thing before we wrap this all up, they both had bye weeks last week. So they both have had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Ohio State just can't look past this one. And I don't think they will because it's Penn State, and it doesn't matter how good Penn State is. You can't ever look past them. So they've had 2 weeks to prepare. It's very beneficial for both of them. I'm very excited to see this game kick off at noon on Saturday. But Ohio State will get it done.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it, though. I want to see what Penn State's got this week.
I do, too. I'm very, very excited to see this. But that about does it for us today, this time, guys. I hope everybody drives safe. As Q would say, get your morning coffee, cream, sugar if you need it. Or if you drink it black, do it that way, too. But make sure you got your gum just in case you have that bad coffee breath. Nobody wants to smell it. Probably not even yourself. But thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in again on Monday when we have the recap for these games and talk about potentially whatever else goes on. And, yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
All right. See you guys.